Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Nick's Daily here. Today we're going to be reacting to Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. It's only been 5 games. I know a lot of you guys, including myself, thought it would take at least 10 plus to figure this out. But it really hasn't. In his first 5 games for the Knicks, Mikal is averaging 17.6 points, 52% from the field, 39% from 3, and has a 61% true shooting. Not to mention the defense and versatility that he's giving the Knicks. Him and OG have been absolutely what we expected. They're just flying around the perimeter, chase down blocks, getting into passing lanes, stripping it. I mean, they're just killing it on both sides of the ball right now. The Knicks look really good. And in terms of Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, he's playing maybe the best basketball of his career. And this is something we talked about when the Knicks made the trade, is that when did Cat previously play his best ball? That was the 3 years that he played with Tibbs in Minnesota. He's currently averaging 22.2 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 3 assists per contest, while shooting 54.9% from the field and 64.7% from the three-point range. Cat joined Patrick Ewing as the only Knick to record 100 plus points and 50 plus rebounds in their first 5 games with the franchise. And in terms of the most points in the first 5 games as a Knick ever, Carmelo Anthony 130, Cat 111. Yeah, Cat, he only had to play 27 minutes last night. I know there was a bunch of controversy surrounding 7 minutes left in the game. The Knicks up 30. He ended up coming back out. I did see a lot of Knicks fans make a good point about how, well, the Knicks are still trying to get chemistry down. You might as well do it in a game against the Pistons who aren't playing hard. You're not really risking an injury because an injury is going to happen through a hard foul or some sort of contact. The Pistons played really soft last night. For me, I still stick with what I said in my video after the game, and that's I really just don't agree with 3 starters being out there up 30 late into this fourth quarter. It's just way too risky. We saw, of course, Julius Randle was out there against the Heat. It was definitely Knicks weren't up 30, but they certainly had the game pretty much under wraps, and Randle gets hurt. We've seen some other guys as well when the Knicks were up big. If Cat goes down with an injury there, OG goes down with an injury, you can basically kiss the Knicks season goodbye. I get wanting to play your starters minutes and get them up to speed because the schedule coming up for the Knicks is just not very easy. They've got the Rockets, who Knicks fans are underestimating, man. I mean, the Rockets are a pretty good young team. They're great defensively. They just beat the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas a couple of nights ago. That is not going to be an easy game. Atlanta, Milwaukee, Indiana, Philly. I mean, I guess it's not that bad of a schedule, but it's just games that really like you're on the road. The Knicks are on the road. What? So their next 5 games, they're on the road in 4 of them. The only home game is Friday night Knicks against the Bucks, who are struggling right now. I mean, who would have thought, right? That the Bucks would be 1-4. I mean, they just look completely discombobulated right now. The Knicks have a completely new team essentially, and they're 3-2. They were up double digits against the 6-0 Cavs late into that game, third quarter or whatever. And then the Celtics had a historically good shooting night. But the Knicks could have been a little bit more aggressive in that opener against the Celtics. The defense we know isn't the greatest. The Pistons game is going to help with that because they ended up turning the ball over a ton and they shot just 32.4% from 3. But the Knicks, they haven't done a good job of defending the season. But I think that's going to be the biggest thing is just getting the defense down because the offense is clearly there. The Knicks are shooting the ball well. They're 5th in net rating. The Knicks can score. It's just can they get stops? And that was kind of the thing last season to start off is the Knicks weren't having an issue on offense. It was the defense. But, OG, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, they're starting to get it going and make a ton of plays. And I do think this is a sign of good things to come. Everyone's going to say it's the 1-5 Pistons, but it's still an NBA team, a team that just went on the road and beat Philly. So I thought the Pistons would come out with a little bit more aggression, but they just didn't. I mean, the Knicks started off 39-13 in this game. I think it was 10 assists, was it? We had I think we had 10 assists in the first quarter. And the Knicks were just moving the ball around. They were cutting. They were being unselfish. You've got Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, basically 2 number 1 options. I'm not going to say Brunson's been a number 1 option his entire career because he played with Luka. But now you've got a number 1 option, another number 1 option, and these guys are just on the same page. They're not trying to get theirs. They're just trying to go out there and win. And then you've got Bridges, who's been efficient for the Knicks on the season. Bridges is shooting 52.2% from the floor. He's helping us out a ton as that third option. And then we also got OG Anunoby, who's shooting 47% from the field. So you have guys who are defending the lights out of the basketball, who are also shooting it well from the floor and from the three-point line. Cat's at a historical pace right now. He's shooting 54.9% from the field. You take a look at his three-point percentage, and it's at 64.7. I don't know if anybody's ever shot that high from 3 in a season. You got to remember, he came into this game questionable with a sprained wrist, and you could tell he was moving it around a little bit. He looked uncomfortable, but it didn't stop him from scoring 21 points, grabbing 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and a block. 8 of 18 from the field. Good efficiency there, especially the 3 of 6 from three. I like what I saw out of Cat. And in terms of Jalen Brunson, I mean, he was the star of the show. If you guys saw post game what Cade Cunningham had to say about him, he said, "quote He just knows the ins and outs of the game. He knows how to get to his spots. He's physical and can knock down shots at a high level. All those things make him a really tough guard. It takes a group to guard him. We just didn't execute our gameplay good enough for the group." And quote. So Cade, that's high praise, former number one pick, one of the better two-way players we have. It's unfortunate because I think Cade truly could be an MVP type of player, and I was really high of him coming out of Oklahoma State, of course. But just in terms of where he's at, just a terrible situation, right? I mean, you look at Brunson, he was in a pretty good situation with the Mavs, but then he goes to the Knicks into really finding a shot. But I mean, I don't think anybody, like literally any Knicks fan in the world, was concerned about Jalen Brunson's slow start. And he proved that in this game that, man, when he's on, he's a top flight player in the league. And I stand on that, man. There's nothing anybody can say to change my mind about Jalen Brunson not being a top five player. Yes, defense matters. But in terms of me starting a franchise, I mean, Brunson took a Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady type of pay cut. All he cares about is winning. And of course, he goes out there, loses Dante DiVincenzo, his best friend, and is pretty much exactly where I thought we would be. I mean, I said that time and time again that the first 10 games we might go 5-5. And so far we're over 500. And I definitely don't expect us to lose to the Rockets, the Hawks. Maybe the Bucks will surprise us, but we're going to be fine, man. I mean, we're probably going to go 7 well, if we go 7-3 in the first 10, I mean, that's probably realistic. I think we probably will win. I would say four of our next. Oh yeah, I'll say we'll win four of our next 5 games. If I'm being honest, I think one team's going to catch us, but also the games are spread out, right? No backs to back. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, and then we've got a back to back against the Bulls. But they're so we're at Philly on the 12th, and then we're at home against Chicago, and then the schedule gets really soft after that. We're talking about Brooklyn 2 games in a row, and then the Wizards. So yeah, the Knicks are going to be in a really good spot. Our schedule isn't that bad, if I'm being honest. I know we have a tough stretch. We really don't, though. I'm looking at our schedule. Yeah, we don't really have any toughs. I mean, I guess you could say that, yeah, Sacramento, Memphis, Denver, Los Angeles, Houston's a pretty tough stretch, but they're all home games. That's a huge home stretch, man. Sort of makes up for the road stretch run right now. But of course, that West Coast trip in towards the beginning of March is going to be difficult, but there's nothing too concerning, right? There really isn't anything too concerning. And to that point, we're going to be talking about the Knicks having the chemistry down in a much different spot. But yeah, I just didn't see the Knicks playing this well to start. I mean, again, guys, they're fifth in net rating through the first 5 games. There was that game against the Celtics too, but there was also the game against the Pistons. So it kind of balances out. And then outside of that, again, we lost to the 6-0 Cavs. We were up double digits in the third quarter. And for some reason, we just couldn't buy a bucket. And Darius Garland looked like Kobe Bryant. I mean, he looked like a man absolutely possessed. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys, man. Smash the like button, subscribe. It's your boy Nick's Daily. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We actually don't play tomorrow. I mean, I'll still have video out, but we play Monday. It's kind of weird having 2 days off in a row in the NBA.